Good morning, South Louisiana. This is Nick Moore here with Morning Coffee on the Bayou. Here to talk about some recipes and an interview that we'll have later with someone from Ascension Parish who remembers a giant oven that used to be right down the street on Highway 30 in Airline. And we're going to catch up with them and see what they remember about it and what it was like driving by it to see if it was still there. Now, the first part of this episode is going to be going over two different recipes that are really big and reminded me of my childhood. And the first one is called a flourless triple chocolate cookie. And it looks like a brownie and a cookie fused together. And it's just something that whenever I was going to first, second, and third grade growing up in Gonzales, we would stop at this bakery called Cal's and go and get this cookie that has a cup and 2/3 confectionate sugar, half a cup unsweetened dark cocoa powder, half a teaspoon coarse salt, 2 large eggs, 1 1/4 teaspoon pure vanilla, half a cup milk chocolate chips, and half a cup semi-sweet chocolate chips. And for this, you mix your wet with your dry ingredients and preheat your oven to 375. And then you're gonna take those two bowls and mix them together. And then you're gonna put it in a baking dish that you can line the bottom with parchment paper if you want and just dollop them on there like cookies. And bake them for 12 minutes. I'm sorry, and first you put the egg whites and vanilla together and beat those together, and then you mix the rest of your wet ingredients and dry ingredients and then combine them. And after baking those for 12 minutes, they should have a glossy top to look just like a brownie. And then a recipe that looks very similar to this but is very different is a regular brownie recipe with 1 cup flour, half a teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon salt, and half a cup unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon espresso powder, 3/4 cup unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons oil, neutral oil, 1 1/3 cup granulated sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 large egg yolk, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, and 3/4 a cup chocolate chips. And for these brownies, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 and take a 9 by 9 inch baking pan, line it with parchment paper, spray it down in a large bowl, mix your wet ingredients, and then another bowl your dry. And with brownies, I always try to not over combine them because that's when I find I don't get like a nice crunchy top. And just kind of mix everything together and then mix your wet with your dry and then kind of fold it all together and slowly pour your batter into your pan and bake for 28 to 30 minutes until you poke a toothpick in it and it'll come out clean. And that is a really good and easy brownie recipe. And give those recipes a try and give us a call and let us know what you think or comment online. And the next segment of our show is going to be about the interview we had with David Ledoux about this giant oven that Miss Rosa and Joe Trinicost owned in Gonzales during the late 70s and early 80s. And it's about how David used to fish in the pond right by this oven, and Miss Rose would take a 25-pound bag of flour and make bread with the whole thing, and she would give it to the people throughout the town and whatnot. And that's all the time we got right now, so appreciate you, and we'll be back after these quick sponsors.